Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about certifications and front-end, so let's get into it. So the question in question today was a very nice follow-up question to my previous video. Frederick, if there are no, what certifications can a front-end developer get in order to stand out, or something of that nature basically. So this is I suppose like a sort of, okay, I mean, it is a relevant question, right? Because it was actually funny, because when the person asked this question, I kind of just sat there. My first thought was literally nothing. There is none. Nothing at all. No certifications that I know of that would be worth anything to you career-wise. I really don't. I just completely drew a blank. Maybe I'm assuming that there are, well, I hope so, there are a few experienced front-end developers who are listening to me ramble on about stuff that happens in my career, right? But if you can think of anything that would be more important than actual work experience and having what I call the right brands on your CV, then please let me know, because I could not think of anything. And I wrote back to this person, I said, I'm sorry, I really don't know any certification whatsoever that is like front-end related. I mean, sure, I'm sure that there are probably some certifications for knowing web standards or something like that, but most companies, they don't give a fuck about that. What they care about is that you know React, Angular, Vue, CSS, JavaScript, Node, again, Git, and like all of these different things that actually make you productive as an employee. These tools are much more important than the certification will ever be. I mean, shit, most companies don't even give any thought whatsoever to something as simple as accessibility. And like web standards, I mean, it's almost hilarious. I mean, semantic HTML, you know, that thing that we're supposed to all adhere to. Well, the people who know about it adhere to it. The companies don't really care because they don't know what it is. Like, your boss doesn't know what it is. He will care absolutely if somebody complains about it and somebody explains what it is. But it's not something that is, you know, on people's minds all that much, in my experience anyway. So I really thought so. So the only thing I could write back to this person was basically this, that the only thing that I know of that would be the equivalent of a certification in front-end, because that's the thing, there is no certification that I know of that would give you a bigger wow factor than being good at the correct tools and stuff like that. So the only equivalent, because the fundamental thing that you're getting with a certification is the brand. The brand value of your certification is what you're actually getting. Because the experience, I mean, the knowledge that you're going to get through getting a certification is, this can be acquired in many ways. You don't have to pay somebody and then get the chance to prove it and then have the certification, or like an education or something like that. You can acquire it in many ways. So it's really only the brand value that's going to give you something. And the only thing I can think of is that you have a semi-celebrity status within the front-end community. You are a blogger or some type of thought leader, or you are contributing to, I mean, you could also be part of a group that is semi-famous. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that you are a core contributor on an open source library that quite a lot of other front-end developers use, or something like semi-famous or something like that. These are the sort of prestigious type of things that would be the equivalent of this. This is the sort of stuff that you get in order to not say that it's not just about explaining to people or communicating through your CV that you have some skills, right? It's also about communicating that you are a little bit special, because that's basically what the certification is, the same thing. Like, it's so uncommon for most developers, depending on your region, of course. I mean, it could be different in your country, and maybe there's a norm there for certifications. I've never seen it myself, but when you have a certification or something like that, it's very similar to that sort of thing. You're going to stand out a little bit, but this is also a little bit tricky, because at the end of the day, how much you're going to stand out and what's actually valued is also kind of relative, because if you have, let's say for the sake of argument, you have a certification. I mean, I have a certification in, I took the beginner course in MongoDB. So I have a certification. I'm a certified junior something DBA person. Can you imagine how many times that's come up in conversation? Not that much, but they're pretty interested in my work experience and my knowledge of tooling and stuff like that. These are things that weigh much heavier, because at the end of the day, guys, if nobody's told you that, your CV is just a persuasion method, a subjective persuasion method to convince somebody who has a job opening that you should get that job. That's all it is. It's a campaign, it's a persuasion, call it whatever you want. It's a conversation, if you will. And that person's value system is the thing that actually determines if you're going to get the job or not. And then you can put anything on that CV. You could have a blank piece of paper and they just like your smile and you could still get the job. And certifications work in exactly the same fashion. A certification is just a piece of paper that is meant to impress somebody and prove to somebody that you really have, you know, the thing that you know. But the fact of the matter is that most companies, even if you have a certification, they're going to test you anyway. They're going to try you through code tests and like stuff like that. So they're going to make their own evaluation. So it's not like you have a certification and now you're just, you know, you're scot-free. You don't even have to do the code test. You're still going to have to do the code test, because the companies they don't trust, they verify. It's common. It's standard practice today. So what I want you to take away from this is one part, if you can think of any certification that would be directly useful to a front-end developer, and I'm not talking just sort of useful here, I'm talking about this is going to make or break you in a hiring process, then please let me know, because I can't think of anything. And the second part is that I want you to take away from this is that the certification is just a way for you to get a brand on your CV, or something that proves that you are a little bit special, or something that is going to get people to notice you. And in front end, the better way, or the equivalent of doing this, I think it's superior in many ways, is to be a semi-celebrity, something noticeable about you, that you're contributing to something, or you have a project that is sort of famous in some fashion, or maybe you're on the web standards committee or something like that. You're active in that community. We're talking about proving that you are associated with a prestigious group or something prestigious, and you're a little bit ahead of the curve in some fashion, or you're more involved in the front-end community than the average front-end developer. These things are on par, I would even say even a lot more powerful than having a certification. Have a great day.